Good afternoon. Welcome to the Market Wrap from Lovitz. My name is Paul Barnes. I'm the Sales and Lettings Director for the firm. And today we have Laura Wilson, our associate, and Laura heads up our land department.
Hello.
Afternoon, Laura. How are you?
And yeah, I'm very good, thank
Good,
you.
good. So, property. There's a lot in the news at the moment with regards to property, both from a sales and rental perspective. There was new mortgage rates announcements last week where 0% deposit for renters, that came out. We've also got the news with regards to, I think there's a 12th consecutive interest rate rise, which obviously is impacting the market. But in all fairness, we are still agreeing sales as we speak. Market is still buoyant, there's still an appetite for property. So in that regards, very positive. But today I thought it'd be useful for Laura to join us just to sort of demonstrate, what we do from a land perspective. So do you want to just take me through sort of your involvement and what you do for the land department?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we get involved, generally right in the very beginning of the process. So a landowner will come up to us, say they own a piece of land, they've had it in the family for years. It could be agricultural, it could be commercial, it could be just an additional piece of garden land. It just ranges on all sizes, which we really love. It makes the job so interesting, really. And we'll go to the client's property, look at what they're looking to sell, what their goals are, their timescales, and potentially what the potential is for the land. Sometimes they'll come to us and say, I've got planning for X amount of houses, and at that stage, a bit further on in the process, we would look to put likely GDVs together, work backwards, and basically put a value on the land and take it to market. At that point, we'll advise the client on terms of disposing of that land, so looking at open treaty, private treaty, auction. We can pretty much take care of all their needs, because we've got so many disciplines within our department. So
it's quite you've used some quite technical phrases there, GDV for example. So this is where you would come in, advise the client from the very start, go through the whole process, offer that expertise as such, because I'd imagine we get a lot of calls at times for people, I have a piece of land, what can I do with it?
Yes.
That's where you come into the foray.
Exactly, yeah. And in terms, if it's hasn't, they haven't looked to source planning, we'll take them through that kind of introductory planning process. We work very closely with very reputable architects in the local area, so we tend to get those involved as well. They can advise on, even if it's a greenbelt land, it's got a brownfield site within, there's options we can do, potentially class Q, of converting existing buildings. There's a lot that architects that we work with, and it's basically maximising that person's investment. It could have been in the family for generations. A lot of people, generally don't really know, where to kind of start or what. And we like to get involved at the very beginning and just offer as much advice possible.
I think that's key, isn't it? I think from our perspective, obviously, as I'm sure most people are aware, we offer land, new homes, block management, service charge, commercial, residential, and I think when it comes to the land aspect, it's quite a long process. And what we don't mind is, by being here at the start, we know that we may not be involved then to sell the properties in 12, 18 months time, even 2 years, but that's what we're comfortable to deal with. Give that advice at the start, get the best advice, and it'll take you, hopefully, as a smoother route to the end process, which is when we sell the new build homes that we have coming to market. And there's quite a lot going on, isn't there, at the moment, in terms of activity?
Yeah, there is. I mean, for example, yesterday, John Pugh, Managing Director, myself, went out with a local architect, and we went to one site in Wolverhampton. Lovely old boy in his late 80s, worked hard all his life. His grandfather's property, so it's kind of gone down the generations. He's got about 5-6 acres. It used to be agricultural, now it's a nursery, and he basically wants to maximise this land that he's got, pass it on to his son, and we were able to provide different options, even going down the planning route. There's different options where you might not have to pay out, but you perhaps pay a little bit more at the end. That you can, there's just different options in terms of not having to pay out so much for planning, or not taking the risk on yourself. Or even letting a potential developer client who's looking to buy the land, they take on the planning. But yeah, it's just really interesting. Then we went off to
Yeah.
Maxstoke, looked at 19-20 acres of
Wow.
mixed kind of agricultural. So yeah, it's just really diverse.
At least the weather's looking a bit brighter.
It
for you,
is,
so
yeah.
less need for wellies, and you can keep your shoes on when you go to those appointments. So no, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight in terms of what we can do for you from a lamb perspective. If you've got any further questions, by all means email myself or Laura. We'd be happy to help, and we hope to see you soon.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Bye.